Hey guys, my name's Dee, this is Heroine's Corner and welcome back to my channel, and today we're going to be doing a mid-year book review. So, it's July, which means that we're kind of past the halfway mark for the year. Why am I just saying like things that you guys already know? I've had a decent reading half year, I guess. I think I expected myself to read a bit more books, but I kind of didn't factor in all the life things that were going to happen at the start of this year, including creating a booktube channel, which takes up some time. So it was kind of hard trying to find a balance between like reading and all my other kind of responsibilities as well. But I think I've had a decent kind of half reading year. I've read some really fantastic books, discovered a lot of fantastic authors, and yeah, so let's just go straight into this like check review. I'll leave the original creators office tag down below, and yeah, let's go. So the first question is best book that you've read so far in 2021, and I've read so many fantastic books. So this book what I'm going to talk about is one that I feel like I haven't talked about enough on my channel. So yeah, it's hard to say it's the best book, but it's like any given day, like these books can just be like changed around and so on and so forth. So the book I'm talking about is Annie John by Jamaican Kincaid, and this is a modern classic and it's a coming of age story set in Antigua, and I really love this book. It was very unassuming book. Like while I was reading it, I was like, yeah, this is good, this is good, this is good. And it wasn't until the end I was of the book I was like, this was actually really good. One of the main things I loved about this book was the mother and daughter relationship, and that is the heart of this novel. And if you guys don't know already, I love mother and daughter relationships in books, and this mother and daughter relationship is so tumultuous. Both of them, like the mother and daughter, just seem to hate each other. Like it comes to the point where it just seems that they hate each other. And I loved how Jamaica Kincaid kind of try to see why is this animosity here. And I just loved the other different themes that it touched upon as well, including colonialization and sexuality. So yeah, Annie John by Jamaican Kincaid, if you haven't read it already, please read it. It's not a big book and I'm sure you will love it as much as me. Probably one of my favorite classics I've read this year, actually. Question number 2, best sequel you've read so far in 2021, and this is a very quick answer. I haven't read a sequel in 2021, so I can't answer this. I do plan to read some sequels towards the end of this year, but I just haven't been prioritizing sequels. I've been wanting to just get into new stories and get into new authors more so for this first half of the year. So the sequels are going to have to wait a bit until the later part of the year, but I do plan to catch up on some of my fantasy series that have been on the back burner. Question number 3, a new release you haven't read yet but want to. Oh, so many, but I will dedicate this answer to middle grade, and I'm going to say Amari and the Night Brothers by, I think it's B.B. Alston, and this is essentially a portal fantasy and like a magical school fantasy. And this girl Amari, her brother goes missing, and she plans to find out where he is because no one else seems to be freaking out about it. And she finds herself in a magical world, and all these different things are happening to her. You know, it's a middle grade portal fantasy, so I'm guessing hijinks ensue. But yeah, I've been seeing everyone love this book. I've not seen a bad review about this book, or even like a meta review about this book. And I haven't read this yet just because I don't have it physically, and I think I'm waiting for the paperback to release. I think that was my excuse as to why I haven't bought it recently. But I want to read it like physically because the cover is just so beautiful. Yeah, this answer is dedicated to middle grade, and I'm going to say Amari and the Night Brothers. Question number 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. I'm going to be honest, guys, I don't really track releases like that. Like, it's kind of just like a nice surprise if a book that I've been anticipating, if I remember that it's coming out that month or something. Like, I don't really track it. I know I am planning to do a second part to my Black British releases for 2021 video. Like, I'm planning to do a part 2 for that for the later half of the year, and I just haven't gotten to researching for that video. So I don't really have like a book that's like I'm brimming to like, you know, read and stuff, but I will say Island Queen by Vanessa Riley, and this is a historical fiction. And historical fiction for me this year has been killing it. I've been loving or really liking any historical fiction I've picked up this year. So I'm hoping that this trend just continues. I've been seeing this on my TL. The cover is absolutely like stunning. And essentially we are following a girl who used to be a slave, and she buys herself out of slavery and somehow becomes the biggest landowner in the West Indies. And I just want to know that story. I know it's based on a true story, so I'm hoping that this version of the story is really intriguing, really compelling. I'm always a bit scared about reading stories that include slavery just in case it's going to be like a bit too traumatic and heavy, but I'm hoping that this is just a really great historical fiction. I've been seeing a lot of good things about it on my TL. So yeah, I'll go with Island Queen by Vanessa Riley. Question number 5, biggest disappointment. There's been a few disappointments, sadly, for my reading year so far. I think the book I'm going to have to go with is Wings of Ebony by JL, and this was one of my like most anticipated reads. It's a YA fantasy, and I just really love seeing black girls in fantasy, so I was just excited to like read this book and just, do you know what I mean? Like, if you don't know, this book is about Rue, and Rue finds out she's half god, and she gets whisked off into this like magical world, but she comes back to our world and realizes that the magical people are actually infiltrating our world and doing bad stuff in her neighborhood. Like, I don't know if I explained that well, but that's essentially the premise of the book. The crux of my disappointment for this book is that many elements of it was just rushed, and also where I felt like it was just a standard YA fantasy. Do you know what I mean? Like the standard beats were being played out, and the standard underdeveloped romance, and you know what I mean? So it was just a bit not a 5 star. It just wasn't a 5 star. It was a 3 star, you know what I mean? It wasn't terrible, but I was just expecting a lot from this book and I didn't quite get that. Question 6, biggest surprise. So I'm going to have to go with the book I dedicated an entire video on. A Lot by Shola von Reinhold. I don't even know how to describe this book. That's why I dedicated a whole video towards it. But I just really enjoyed this book. Like I had a love-hate relationship with this book while I was reading it, and then when it came to the end, I was like, I absolutely adore this book. I wish I wish I could just consume this book. Just so many things were happening. It's like a adult fiction, contemporary, but so many different things were just being played out. We have like secret societies, we have some historical fiction moments, we have so many discussions, like social commentary on art and culture. It was just absolutely amazing. I cannot wait to read whatever else Shola von Reinhold puts out, because this book was just indulgence. It was just indulgence. Okay, I felt like I was indulging in something just rich and lovely. And yeah, this was definitely the biggest surprise because I was not expecting to love this book as much as I did. And that kind of answers the next question, which is 7 favorite new author. I could say like Shola von Reinhold, definitely. I will also say Candice Carty-Williams. I really enjoyed Queenie. It's right there, but yeah, I really enjoyed Queenie. I look forward to the YA book that's going to come out later this year, and also there's Bernardine Evaristo. I read Girl, Woman, Other and Mr. Loverman, and I enjoyed them both. Bernardine Evaristo, I won't say she's an autobi author, but yeah, she's probably like an autobi author for me now. I just really love the way how she writes. Her writing is just like exceptional. Question number 8, newest fictional crush. There's not one character I can even say for this. Oh god. Just like if I'm reading YA, all the characters are like underage and like they act underage, and do you know what I mean? So it's kind of just weird for me to be having a crush on these characters. And then if in adult fiction, it's like every character is just very not all there, like not all there at all. I have no answer for this question. It's kind of sad. I need to read more romance. Question number 9, newest favorite character. I mean, that's a good question. I don't really know. if I have one. Do I have one? Like with books, I feel like I don't really have favorites like that. Like unless it's like, oh wait, I do. Why am I lying? I do. Serapio from Black Sun. Yes, yes, and this can actually fit into the fictional crush actually because he's so he's not okay, he's still not all there, but like he's just so wild, like, and chaotic. He's so chaotic, and essentially, like, I can't remember, like he's like been prophesized to be this god, and we kind of follow him throughout the book, and he's blind, and like he has red teeth, and I don't know, if you've read Black Sun, it's kind of hard for me to describe without like giving out spoilers, but if you've read Black Sun, you kind of know he's just, I don't even want to say he's a cinnamon bun, but like he is, but he's also very murderous and not quite there. I don't know, I just love him. It's a rapio, it's a rapio. Okay, I got it. Number 10, a book that's made you happy. Well, I don't think I've been reading very fun books. To be perfectly honest, I haven't been reading fun books. They'll be like, oh my god, this is like so fun. So again, another thing I should prioritize this year, or toward the second half of this year, I should say. Well, I can say Mr. Loveman actually, because whenever I talk about Mr. Loveman, I always say I really enjoyed this, like Mr. Loveman. It had a lot of heartwarming moments, a lot of like comedic moments. So Mr. Loveman by Bernardine Evaristo. Yeah, that book actually made me smile and happy. It was an enjoyable reading experience. Question 11, a book that's made you cry. I haven't cried from any book. I think the closest I don't want to say I haven't cried, and I don't really cry with books. I don't really cry with books. Yeah, let's just say that. The closest I got to like a really emotive reaction was, I should really have gotten this ready before doing this video. Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. It was my first classic I read this year, and I only got a really emotive reaction. It was right towards the end of the book. Or when I mean right towards the end, I mean like the last couple of pages. And it was just, was it even sadness, or was it more like rage? Like just how you read about Okonkwo's whole life, and just the final pages to be just reductive, let's say. I don't know, like I got a really emotive reaction towards like the last 2 pages of this book. So let me just say Things Fall Apart by Chinua Achebe. Question number 12, most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. Assembly by Natasha Brown. This is an arc, but I'll put the actual final copy here. I absolutely love that cover. I don't know what it's about. Maybe it's just the white, it's very clean, and then you have the intensity of like the image. I don't know, like, don't let anyone tell you that a cover doesn't matter. Like, a cover matters, okay? Because I would not have even thought to look at that book if I didn't see the cover. Like, there was a cover reveal on Twitter, and then I was like, oh my god, I need to read this book. So book covers matter, guys. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Question number 13, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? Any book that's on my shelf that I have not read, I am planning to read before the end of the year. If I was going to give specifics, I'll probably say the Black Britain Writing Back series, definitely. Legit, any book that you see behind me, like, a lot of them I have not read and I'm planning to read, especially like this row, the hardbacks. Like, I haven't read a lot of these hardbacks, so there. Question number 14, the final question, favorite book community member. And I'm not going to say one person, I'm just going to say small booktubers. You guys are the backbone of booktube, and I enjoy your content so much. Please keep on creating content. Small booktubers for the win. That's all I'll say. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. That was my mid-year book review, my check-in. I still have a lot of reading to do for the rest of this year. There's a lot of fantastic books on the horizon, and I just can't wait to read more and just enjoy books. Like I'm just a bibliophile, guys. Like that's who I am. Please remember to like and subscribe. Comment down below what your biggest disappointment so far has been when it comes to books. I feel like talking about disappointing reads is such a interesting thing because it's usually the most hyped books on Booksheet which are the most disappointing reads, I guess. But yeah, I want to know what's your most disappointing read, or if you can't answer that and all your books have been absolutely amazing, please let me down below what your favorite book so far has been for 2021. Remember to follow me on my Twitter and my Bookstagram, and I'll see you guys soon on another video soon. Bye.